momentum, if you're starting at 400 miles per hour and then driving into 1,000-mile-per-hour atmosphere, you would feel it.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
my
You would feel that. But
I know you don't go straight there. You can't say there's a gradual in-plane adjustment. Show me the citation for the plane that adjusts for this. I want to see it.
Why would it need to? The
We're
pilot is the one who adjusts.
Because you're in
It'd
it.
be huge. It'd be huge.
Because you're in it.
You
You're
keep
in a
straw manning
1,000-mile-an-hour
for this,
wind
and we do
system.
not say that it's there. We say it's minor. It's a small effect that it's not necessary to instruct for it, and you're asking us to show
Not a
you
small
the evidence
effect.
that they do
It would be
instruct
huge.
for it.
It would be
That's
huge. You'd be way off course. You'd be way off course.
Imagine there's a giant magnet.
It would not be huge.
So powerful. Yeah.
It would not be huge because it's a very small effect over time. If you compare the beginning and the end of an 8-hour flight, yeah, it might be different, but you have 8 hours to account for that 600 miles per hour.
It's the same tactic you try to use with the reason you wouldn't feel the gradual adjustment that the elliptical orbit's going to cause is negligible because over time.
How elliptical is the orbit?
So
how elliptical? How elliptical is the orbit?
How much denial?
We'll stretch it out.
How elliptical is the orbit?
What are the mathematics for the level of denial paid NASA shill is in?
And wait, I'm talking. What are if he's going to bring up the eccentricity of the orbit? We got to talk about something totally different now. That's just a red herring.
I want to stick to the fact that the plane can never land on a spinning ball.
It can. Because it is spinning with the Earth.
The spin. It's not spinning with the Earth. Once it goes against the spin,
no.
You can't have it both ways.
Yes, I can.
With the Earth, then it has
I can have it. I can fly both ways. What do you mean? I can't fly east or I can't fly west? Which way can I fly?
You can. You can. And I'm saying you can, and that's the reason.
Can I fly east or west?
From the Earth. The
CORIOLIS
necessitates it to. If it's a
ball, the CORIOLIS has almost zero effect.
It would deviate.
The CORIOLIS has almost zero effect.
Even if you say it's almost zero, it doesn't account for it, which is the point.
You just figured how much it is. It's like 0.05 meters per second.
But pilots are never trained to account for this, and
I know.
Because you don't have to.
They would have to accelerate.
One semantical phrase at a time, please.
You guys are saying the same thing over and over.
They would have to accelerate. They would have to accelerate sideways when they land to land safely.
Yeah, you said that. You said that, right? You said they had to accelerate the last whatever second they're flying. Imagine the last 10 seconds of a pilot's flight, right before he lands. He's landing in 10 seconds. He's going to be on the ground in 10 seconds. Okay, so however much ground he's going to cover in that 10 seconds is all we're talking about. Okay?
Imagine.
So the Earth is going one speed, and then the Earth is going another speed in 10 seconds when he lands. What are those different speeds? What's the difference between them? And how
is there a difference between the ground moving?
Yes, there is a difference.
No.
There is a difference.
Okay, well, if there is, then we would show that. It'd be easy enough to show, but the plane always treats everyone way the same as
Hold on, let me break in here for a minute.
Hold on, before you break in.
Hold on, KOSHO, hold on. KOSHO, hold on.
Why can't I finish my point?
Well, because I'm
just
trying to, and it's just, there's a lot of over talking, right? And I appreciate new perspective. I appreciate your passion. But kind of you're clipping people a lot. You got paid NASA shills, you got him all fired up, and so it's kind of devolved into a lot of over talking, and everybody's trying to get in their points. So let's just maybe try to dial it back, and everybody just take a breath and let other people speak.
I agree. I would like to finish. Yeah, I'd like to finish the point though, without getting interrupted. But yeah, that's all I'm saying. You're talking about is correct, but instead of comparing the beginning of the flight and the end of the flight, the speeds of the Earth, compare 10 seconds or 1 second or whatever, whatever that difference is. It's that the speed of the Earth, those two instances that you're really talking about. So the distance the plane goes in 1 second, right, and the speed of the amount of ground it covers, and the speed of those 2 points, it's going to be extremely small and extremely close.
I was gone for an hour and a half, KOSHO. An hour and a half. Are you still talking about this?
And besides, if you make it a 1 second interval, then you can say it's extremely small, I guess. But
it is small. I calculated before.
A plane that aims, like you're talking about a plane that's aiming at the runway that never moves in relation to the plane. That's the point. It treats it as if it's stationary because it's stationary. That's the only
Not
way.
aiming.
It treats it if it's stationary, because as we just calculated, it would be the same as that runway moving sideways at 0.01 miles an hour for you all who don't know
No, it's not the same,
metric.
because you're starting at 400 miles per hour and then flying into a different latitude.
I did a better calculation.
Yes.
One,
No.
Guys, hold on. Everyone's talking at the same time. Let's try something. Since there's a lot of people in here and a lot of people want to talk. How about whoever gets the mic, say your piece and please no one interrupt them. And then when you're done, just say done. We'll just try it. Just say the word.
Sure.
Say the word done. The thing is, though, if we do it this way, whoever's, often a lot of people want to get in, or one person will dominate and respond every time. But we have to keep in mind that if we're going to do this kind of open popcorn style, it's like whenever the person says done, several might talk at once, but then at some point, someone has to if three people talk at once after that, two have to step back and the one has to
take turns.
Get the mic. So it's up to those people to do that. And then once that person gets the mic, fully go until you're done. Say the word done, and then we'll.
Got it, Gio. Good job.
Let's try it. Let's try it.
Sure. The amount that one would have to account for at its absolute greatest is an acceleration of 0.01129 miles per hour. So that's how much the runway would be moving, which to me sounds much slower than a light breeze. I'm done.
Can I give another value that I came up with?
Wait, hold on. Riding on eggshells needs to say dumb. Let's follow the rules.
Yeah,
Can I give you a value that is pretty easy to understand?
Can I go after
Zanik? All right. Yeah, Zanik, you're next. Merle, go after Zanik.
Hey, real quick. We calculated to be a little different, a little easier to swallow. 1.5 miles per hour per minute change of speed in the lateral direction. So that's kind of gives you a scale.
You think that's easier than what eggshells?
1.5 miles per hour per minute, going left or right. Depending on what
eggshells said it way more straightforward and simple.
He said it. He gave you a very small fraction. I'm giving you something tangible. 1.5 miles per hour per minute of velocity change left to right.
Are you done?
Okay.
Done.
So
all right.
So ballers. I was next, dude. Gio even acknowledged it.
Sorry.
Okay. So ballers. Have you seen the PDF where NASA themselves acknowledge the Earth as a stationary plane?
It sounds like a change in topic.
No, remember to say done.
Merle didn't say done. Merle didn't say done.
Merle,
You're out.
Merle, you gotta say done.
You're out, Merle.
Well, you're so done.
Done.
Brian.
I'd like an answer though.
They often describe things in aviation and in engineering. They try to simplify certain scenarios, so they assume they want you to assume in this particular topic, whatever it may be, that the Earth is non-rotating and that it is flat. And then they go on and tell you about their calculations of whatever the topic is. So that's often done, and NASA does this, and it's done in engineering books as well.
You know why they do that, Zanik? Do you know why?
It symbolizes the
do you know why they do that, Zanik?
Wait, he has to say done. Wait,
I'm telling you.
Say done, guys. Say done. He wasn't done.
Let him say done.
They do that to simplify the calculations. Yes, I'm done.
Why do they do it, Zanik? Done.
I told you to simplify any calculations or analysis of the situation.
All right, can I go now, please? So
Zanik didn't say done.
Zanik.
Oh, I did say done, but I just hit mute.
But wouldn't Occam's razor tell us, Zanik, that it's probably just because the Earth probably is flat?
Occam razors.
Yeah, that's a given. That's a given. Occam's razor would say that.
Occam razors are not sharp enough. They need to be sharpened.
All right, please. So if it was 1.5 a minute, Zanik, if we took that as your rule, then it'd be 90. If it's 1.5 miles per minute, then it would be off course. Then it'd be 90 miles off course for an hour. It'd be 450 miles off course for a 5-hour flight.
You got it.
You got to say done.
All right, there we go. Done.
No.
You're done on this, guys. You can't land on a moving runway. Even if it's minuscule, they don't account for it. The wheels would break off, even if it were just a little bit of an adjustment. And they
boom, you're fucking done.
They only affect for wind. They only account for wind, and you're done on this, guys. You can't land on a moving runway. The only way to be stationary is if it's stationary. You're done.
He did say that.
Game over.
He did.
Yep.
He did.
He did.
I like eggshells. I like your calculation, by the way.
Thank you very much for that. It means a lot. At least I at least must acknowledge perspective. You are now acknowledging that it is a minuscule force. So I think that's progress. I'm happy with this conversation.
No, you're strawmanning me there. I said if it was, even if it was a minuscule, it would still be. It wouldn't work for you. Even if
so
it
you're
was,
you're not accepting that 0 points.
400. No, I'm saying 450 miles off course in a 5-hour trip is a lot to account for. That's all I'm saying.
You done?
Done. You're done. Yeah, you're done. You can say that.
So I would say.
Agreeing. So you're saying I'm agreeing to it.
You said done,
and then you started
talking. You gotta
again.
actually be done. If you say done, you gotta actually be done.
So
I just want to make sure that he didn't think he wasn't putting words into my mouth. That's all I'm saying.
All right, my turn. Yeah. I would tend to. I'm a flat earther, but I would tend to agree with the Ballers model 100% if it was true. If it was true, just think about it, humor it for a minute. If the atmosphere was in lockstep with the Earth, the runway would seem like it's not moving, no matter which direction you were flying. That would absolutely be true. But the atmosphere is not in lockstep with the Earth.
Even if it was in lockstep, it still doesn't work, is the point. Even if it wasn't lockstep, because there's different latitudes with different speeds and different angles of the runway that you would have to account for.
No, it would. Just imagine.
Necessarily.
I didn't say done. Just imagine that the Earth and the atmosphere were one thing.
Right, but even if that's the case, then it starts at one latitude and it flies into a different latitude.
No, it wouldn't matter, man. From the Ballers' point of perspective,
it would, because conservation of momentum only applies to the starting speed, not to the speed that it flies into.
Well, they've got their calculations fucked up, but the theory is correct if the atmosphere is moving with the Earth.
It's not correct. Even if the atmosphere were moving perfectly with it, it would only conserve the initial 400 miles per hour latitude that it started at. And then it would be flying into 1,000 miles per hour, and it'd have to adjust for that. It'd have to adjust for that standard.
No, but from their point of view, the atmosphere, there is no speed.
And the wind wouldn't let
you're both done.
Would love it to be that way.
You're both done. Momentum is always conserved. Remember that.
Yeah, but only at the starting initial speed, bro. You
No,
can't say
not
it's
always.
conserved
Always.
if it flies into an
Always.
800 mile per hour different. No,
always.
Saying,
always
even if it's
conserved.
it only conserves the original.
No, not always. Always conserved. That's wrong. Done.
Even if somehow now the plane flies into an 800 mile per hour atmosphere that it's spinning with from a 400 and it adjusts for that perfectly. Somehow, I don't know how you can say that the original conservation of momentum isn't the only thing that's conserved. Even if it were, you're still going to be spinning. You're still going to be flying against the spin of the Earth and having to land on a runway that you would adjust for. And even if it were minuscule, they don't adjust for it. They're not trained to adjust for it. They would be trained to adjust for it, and it wouldn't work. They would have to. They would have to. They don't account for it. It's not that I'm not getting it. It's that you're not acknowledging the fact that, first of all, if it starts at 400 miles per hour, it's only going to conserve 400 miles per hour. It's not going to all of a sudden jump to 800 miles per hour without any adjustment.
Oh, exactly. You got it. You're right. You could have said it better yourself. Oh, you did say
that. Then you're saying it always conserves it as if it should treat the Earth as if it's stationary no matter what.
Because momentum is conserved, the pilot will constantly have to be turning 1.5 miles per hour to the east or the west, going north.
Perfect. Show me a citation that says that's what they do.
I am the citation. You know that.
Oh yeah, you're the citation. That's good enough for everybody, I'm sure.
One thing I was gonna say, just real quick, is that we're trying the done thing, which that could work. Another way to do it is just after someone stops talking for a good 3 seconds, you know what I mean? Then they're done. Instead of actually saying done, just let someone fully say what they're saying, and then once they pause for long enough, then boom, it's open to whoever. Yeah. That's ideal, because then we could. If you think about it from the listener, if you think about it from the listener's perspective, if you were listening to this, that would make sense, because someone speaks, there's a pause, someone else speaks, you're able to actually link together the ideas.
Yeah,
it's all the clipping and over talking and jumping in. It's super hard to follow what's going on sometimes.
Hey, Gio, what if I just say you're done? And then I start talking.
ZANIK just says, you're done.
Is this going out live somewhere? Speaking of which, is this going out live somewhere, guys?
Yep.
Gio, they couldn't even let you finish
Gio
the
was
sentence.
supposed
What's the YouTube
I
channel
couldn't
name?
let him. I couldn't let him.
Well, I was cutting him off, but I was just having a joke with him. Give me a break.
Yeah, I know you. That was what I was going to say, Theo. It's not just people. You can't just wait for people to finish and say it's done, and then because the thing is, there's like let's say it's Jeremy arguing something fucking retarded. 4 Globers, we can name them all. We're here now. They will fucking start talking at the same time before he's finished. But even if he said done, they would all just keep talking, and they would just keep talking, and interrupting and stuff like that. It's everybody who's engaged in a conversation has to be more less selfish about it, and just remember there's other people who are gonna want to speak too, and just like make way. You know what I mean? Like make way for somebody else.
KOSHO, if I still had my mods, I'd mute you so hard right now.
You're done.
Sometimes there's no reason. Sometimes there's just no reason. Sometimes there's just no reason for people to even be getting involved in shit. Just let the person handle it. Like, do you guys not feel confident that I can handle some of these topics, or that KOSHO can't handle it for the baller side? Like, let him finish it out.
I think the conversation is interesting and worth moving on to because I'm curious about it, and it relates to the last one. Is this idea that the atmosphere is either moving at 1,000 miles an hour or it's in lockstep? Not that it's mostly going at the same speed, but there are breezes in all directions.
No, there's never been a differential of 1,000 miles on the Earth, 1,000 miles an hour on the Earth. So we know it's going in somewhat of a lockstep.
Right, but when you say lockstep, I get the impression that globers take that to mean the atmosphere is 100% stationary, and any molecule of air stays fixed above that point for its entire life.
I've never used the word lockstep, and I don't think any globers
exactly.
They've said it moves roughly with the Earth. The air molecules, most of them come from the surface. They're given that momentum when they leave, but there are also forces that act on the atmosphere, pressure differentials that determine which direction and where and when it moves. So,
all right. Well, at which height do they stop moving with the surface of Earth?
All heights. You have a jet stream that accelerates ahead of the Earth. Why does that happen? Why does the jet stream go close to 200 miles an hour in the northern hemisphere? Ahead of the Earth, faster than the Earth. So we have something that's going faster than 1,000 miles an hour.
Okay, so at what point does the atmosphere stop moving in quote unquote lockstep with the Earth's surface?
Yeah, that's the question. That it seems like if the Earth indeed was a globe, and this was so for sure, that would be settled. I mean, that would just be absolute. It'd be so easy to have all kinds of footage of that, and exactly precisely 1080p footage on all directions of when that happens, how it's measured. It just seems like we'd have multiple angles. Instead, we get these weird like underwater sort of half shots of from NASA of what in terms of spacewalks. But in terms of when the atmosphere would stop spinning, that would be one of the most fascinating things. If the Earth was a globe spinning in a vacuum, that would be incredible. What's actually at that intermediary point and what that exact distance is.
So the program that I personally have used has 6 different.
Hold on, Jen Kool-Aid was speaking.
Yeah, go ahead. It has 6 different models that explain this, and all based in different regions and being more or less accurate in different. The program software, if you want to take a look at it, there's a free version of it. It's called Predict Wind.
You know, it'd be better than that. With all due respect, Kool-Aid.
What's up, Merle?
Actual footage.
Actual footage of what?
On the Earth in space.
All right.
Oh, brother,
Yeah,
I don't
should be
talk about
easy enough.
space. I talk about sailboats.
Yeah, should be easy enough to get. You should also be able to get, outside your window, you should be able to just take your iPhone and film the Earth spinning separately from the plane, which it never does.
Wow.
That's really how easy it is. Because if you're saying there's any adjustment you have to make,
we're back to square one.
Well, yeah, because you won't get off square one. You saying you're the credible source. That's the only source you can cite for adjustment for Coriolis. That's really fucking giving us confidence. Show me your training manual that showed you how to adjust for it.
I think we've just about drilled Coriolis into the ground. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
Yeah, the ground being the most essential part of this whole thing. The ground would be moving separately from the plane. And
No, because
and
that's
it
the
doesn't,
misunderstanding.
period.
That's
I
why
appreciate the
You're done. You're done on that fact alone.
Well, he starts
But
saying
here,
that
maybe
if we have
let's-
so we all know what Coriolis
move
is. It's perceived. Hold on, it's perceived deviation.
ZANICK wants to keep
Let
it
me
going.
finish. Let me finish. It's a quick sentence, a comparative sentence.
Does it matter if you finish?
Hold on.
Really?
Yeah, it does, actually, because I want to say something to the person who was just speaking. So if we know what Coriolis is, and then we know that it's actually observing this deviation from a rotating reference frame. So when someone says, why doesn't the Earth move underneath balloons, like Nathan Thompson always says, I have to wonder why he's not listening to us, because it has to move. It has to actually traverse this rotating reference frame. Otherwise, you will not see a deviation. That's by definition. And they keep on saying it wrong. That's not my citation. It's just basic understanding what English means. These words are English and they have meaning.
Yeah, so it moves. So when the plane moves, you get all fucked up with this, and you can't answer it because it doesn't move. No, because then the Earth would be spinning separately from the plane, and the plane would have to land on a moving surface, and it never does. Period. You're done.
It's not.
You can't say you're the reference. It is what it means. It's not just about the observance of the Coriolis effect.
That's all it is.
You've
It's
also
all about
said
the
that
observance.
over time, you admitted that it'd be a 450-mile off course over 5 hours.
Correct. Now you got.
So that's not an adjustment that you would have to make?
You're getting half things right. You're getting half things right.
No, well, if it's a 450-mile adjustment you'd have to make over time, then there should be plenty of evidence that a plane does that.
Hold on, hold on, you guys. All right, you guys are not only clipping each other, but you're also completely dominating the conversation. So if you want to have this conversation, it's cool, but try to say your piece. Maybe you don't have to say done, but at least like leave a pause when you're finished with that, and everyone can hear that 2-second pause, and then at least that lets the rest of the room jump in because maybe someone else wants to bring up something else.
Can I say something?
You two will probably hold on.
Quickly, 10 seconds.
Just the last thing. You two will probably loop on Coriolis indefinitely. So I'm just trying to give space to everyone.
Yeah, I have a really fun topic actually to bring up when they're done.
Okay, hang on a second. Just 10 seconds if it's possible. 10 seconds. I'm posting the material by Brian Mullins, which relates to what Dave of New Perspective is talking about. So if you want to further your knowledge on that, because I think Dave has got it right in what he's explaining to you. Look at the videos that I'm posting from Brian Mullins. Balls out physics is exactly what Dave of New Perspective was saying. Okay.
And by the way, on top of that, someone mentioned Brian Mullins earlier. I think it was ZANICK saying that he didn't get it right because he wasn't accounting for he didn't think that momentum was conserved. And in that talk, he talks about the conservation of momentum.
Yeah.
He doesn't deny the conservation of momentum.
No, I know.
Let's make room for Chronic. Chronic wanted to get in. ZANICK.
Yeah. So no, I was very clear that
I want to go after Chronic.
Can I finish the sentence, please? I was very clear.
No.
Come on. Give me a break, guys. Give me a break. I was very clear that he got
I'm not
all
wise
the
for
terms
listening to him,
correct.
Jeremy.
Oh my God! Come on, guys.
Dawnology.
He gave me all. He gives all the right terms. He can't put them together. He does talk about conservation momentum. He doesn't put these terms correctly together to get the correct answer. Now I just posted a GIF.
You should make a correction video.
If I was that, I'm interested in this topic. If I was that interested, I would. Now, listen, I just posted a GIF. This shows the concepts we're talking about. Viewing something from two different reference frames. There's a plane. There's a moving a sphere, and this speaks to directly what the difference is between viewing an object in a rotating reference frame and viewing an object moving in that reference frame from an inertial reference frame.
Okay, thank you, ZANICK. We'll take a look at it. Chronic, go ahead.
It's a pretty big subject change, if you guys don't mind. But
I want to do one. I want to speak to one more thing before they change the topic.
Go ahead.
One thing, I apologize, just before you change the topic.
Yeah, me too.
One of the things that Paid brought up was the fact that it's a small deviation or whatever, like a crosswind, a 10-mile-per-hour crosswind. Something that aircraft do in order to correct for a crosswind on landing, like small aircraft, it's called crabbing, and large aircraft, airlines and stuff. They basically look like they're crooked when they're coming in to land, right? And you would think, because of the different latitudes when they are landing and the different spins, that they would have to correct differently depending on those latitudes when they're coming in for landing. And they would have to do that all the time, right? On top of whatever wind that's going on because the Earth is always spinning, right? So it's just something very interesting. It's something I've always thought about too, about the whole plane landing thing. So please change the topic before
1 mile
ZANICK
per
starts
hour
talking about it again.
1 mile per minute.
No.
That's the
Okay.
Enough of you,
I
ZANICK.
thought this would be a yeah.
I just got one thing to say. If I can,
Hold on, Chronic goes next. Carlos, you can go after Chronic. Chronic, go ahead.
okay, sweet as do this.
Sure. It's a just really quick. I thought it'd be a pretty fun exercise, regardless of who is if you're globe flat, whatever. It doesn't matter. I thought it'd still be pretty fun. I put so in 6 hours from now, the 2021 Nobel Prize in Physics is going to be announced, and let's see. I just put a pretty cool chart showing all the physics fields and the recent Nobel Prizes awarded to them. I was gonna get any predictions from whoever wants to predict what field.
I got a post diction on that. The 2020 Nobel Prize winner in physics, Andrea Ghez, said that laws should apply everywhere in the universe. Yet we got Newton's law that doesn't apply everywhere.
All right,
I have
sounds
a
good.
prediction. I have a prediction. And I don't know how far back the submissions have to be or whatnot for it to be in this session, but
Well, Don, I'm gonna log it, and we'll see who predicted correctly. So I have a spreadsheet up right now. So for Don, which field are you gonna predict? I put an image that shows all the fields.
I'm gonna say time crystals, but the thing is I don't know, is that too new for them to, you know what I mean?
The only fields that the eligible fields to be given the prize are in the image that I linked.
Put Don down for the field of time crystals.
It's gonna be in that and fucking quantum or whatever.
Okay. I just put the hey, that's actually my guess. So I've just put the image again. So my prediction, I'm not saying I don't have any advanced knowledge of who's actually going to get it. But my prediction is actually it's going to go to the quantum physics field.
For time crystals, watch.
Sure, time crystals. All right, so that's Don.
Yeah, I'll give you a specific. Fuck the field. It's gonna be time crystals. God bless.
All right, Don for quantum physics. I'm on quantum physics. Any other prediction?
Well, you need a tiebreaker. Yeah. What if it's quantum physics? Who's gonna win? What if it's time crystals? Then Don wins. You didn't even have a backup.
Then Don will win. All right. Any other predictions?
Yeah. Put I'll do it out for particle physics.
Particle physics. Okay.
Do you want to go deeper than that, or?
No.
All right, particle.
Put me in for condensed matter.
All right, that's J Ace, right?
Yep.
All right, J Ace for condensed matter. The timeline that I linked might be kind of an implication. You can see how long it's been since some of the fields have gotten an award. So my inkling about quantum physics is I think it's been like 10 years or even longer since quantum physics has gotten a Nobel.
Yep, playing that pattern, dog.
Just an inkling, yeah.
My inkling is time crystals. So could y'all help me out and tell me which field that would be best for?
I don't know, Don. I just don't know.
Damn.
Carlos, were you
Yeah. So what I was going to say, just probably the last statement before we move on from a stupid Coriolis, but like the reason why they have to, like, okay, originally the Coriolis effect is just an optical illusion, like merry-go-round analogy. It's just an optical illusion. The ball's actually just going in a straight linear path, but it looks like it's curving from one's perspective. The reason why they had to bring the Coriolis.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Coriolis.
Hold on. 1 second, Carlos.
Hang on.
Jen, you got some kind of feedback, or Merle or something. I think both you guys are actually echoing.
Not me.
It's usually Jen. It's usually Jen.
We'll try it now. So the reason why they had to bring the Coriolis effect in, and they've kicked themselves in the foot, really, is because of the trajectory that in orbital mechanics that they have to launch a spaceship out of the Earth's atmosphere on a particular vector, on a particular angle. That's why they brought, and now they've kicked themselves in the foot, because then they have to explain all these other scenarios where, in fact, originally it's just an optical illusion.
Yes, very, very well said, Carlos. Very well said. Are there no? So I don't have any globe denier that has given a prediction. No globe denier want to predict at all. Jeremy, you don't want to You don't want to give a field prediction.
You could put me down for astronomy, Bendy.
Astronomy, sure. You think back-to-back years of astronomy getting the Nobel? That's pretty bold.
He who dares wins.
Yeah, Gez won it last year on her black hole work, along with a couple. I think there was other people involved, but
yeah, Reinhard Genzel shared it with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll ask her about it next. I'll ask her about your weird
Yeah,
claim
well, I
about
mean,
her. Everything is the same across the universe statement. And
Gez clearly stated that all laws should be applicable everywhere in the universe, and
all
they're
right,
not.
I'll get her to clarify that for you later.
I'm gonna give me her number and I'll text her.
Oh, okay.
Jeremy, I can give you her. I can give you her official email because I sent her an email
when I brought that up a year ago or so.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's when I watched her 3-hour interview where she goes into more detail than this broad, miscontexted statement. Yeah,
you mean the quote? You mean the direct quote? You mean the direct quote we have from her?
Sure. I can give you the 3-hour video where she goes into more detail too, so we can
or
fight over
we can just use her direct quote.
Oh, I would use her 3-hour interview because she goes into great detail about many things. So more information is better than a 1-sentence statement.
What are you saying there, Jeremy? What did you hear that he said that Newton's laws apply everywhere in the universe?
Thanks for being sexist, ZANICK.
Andrea Ghez is a woman.
Well, I said she, didn't I?
I don't know. It sounded kind of like a he, but
so what?
Trick over everything.
Sorry. So what was claimed there, Jeremy? That person, she said that Newton's laws apply to the entire universe, and you're saying they don't?
No, the opposite. So essentially, she's doing work with black holes, got a Nobel, did a bunch of interviews. Well, there was a couple statements that Jeremy will probably take from, and it's basically that Newton doesn't work in what she's working with. Newton breaks down, and then she even says that Einstein has problems as well. And then in other interviews, she had stated that all laws of physics should work in every context, bit macro and quantum. Right. So those would be the sensitives he'll use.
Yeah, she said that the laws of physics should apply everywhere in the universe, and they don't. So
it's again a misquoted out of context,
big problem.
Like
Direct
misrepresentation.
Direct quote.
It's like one of those. It's like a sound. It's like one of those soundbite things. But Jeremy, I got you on astronomy though, right, Jeremy?
No, hell no, bro.
You said
that
astronomy.
was bullshit last year. No, we got jerked last year. Listen, we're gonna go with
read you the damn fields.
Atomic, molecular, and optical physics.
All right, atomic, molecular. All right.
Put me down for that.
Gotcha.
Jeremy, you are right. It would be nice to have laws of physics be applied everywhere, like a unified theory, sort of. It'd be nice to have that. It would be. You're right.
No, not nice. Not nice. That's how it's supposed to be. If they don't.
Yeah, I'll wait for Jeremy. Just saying, like, if you can get in contact with some of these departments, I'd like to put something forward that the universe isn't actually as big as what we've been told. It's actually much smaller, and it's not expanding.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
All right, I'll pass it along. I got that noted down.
Like taking orders.
Will you pass that?
What exact evidence do you have for that claim that you just made?
Hold on. Who are you passing that along to?
You couldn't handle it, Sean.